Good afternoon, motor pump operator Ethan Shabilsky here. Today we're going to be going over some rope rescue scenario-based learning. So we're going to talk about selecting anchors, what we're going to look for in selecting high point anchor points. We're going to select what kind of anchors we want to make or use to create our anchor points, and how we're going to go about doing that, and then creating two static lines to be able to rappel from where we are now down to the bottom, and going through the pestle ID as well. So first, we're going to talk a little safety brief. Obviously, we're working from height here. We want to make sure that if we're ever working over the side of the edge, that we're tied in. We do have a railing here, so if we're here, we're fine. Once we start working up into the ceiling here, we want to make sure we're tied into our railing. We talk about redundancy. We want to make sure that we have somebody else check over our work that we do. So I'll create the system, and I have Lieutenant Xander with me, who's going to look over the system, make sure it's safe before we put anybody over the edge. And then we're also worried about fall. If you drop something, we're going to make sure we yell rock. That way everybody knows it, cover their head. We do have our proper PPE on. We have a harness, gloves, and helmet. So first things first, let's go right into selecting anchor points. In an industrial setting, you're probably going to have more anchors that you can use that are going to be commercial engineered, like we have here. So we have multiple racks here. As you can see, these are for 500 pounds, rated for 500 pounds. They are bolted into the ceiling as well, into the concrete. And these are made to have quite a bit of weight on them. So we'll be able to use these no problem as our high point anchors. Two different options that we have that we talk about. We have our commercial anchor strap, so we'll use one of these. So there's our 4-foot and our 10-foot anchor strap. Inside our bag, we have webbing. Like we talked about, we could use webbing as our anchor point as well, or as an anchor as well. So from here, I'm going to start grabbing my equipment that I need. We're going to grab multiple carabiners to hook to our equipment. Grab my belay device and our held device as well. I'm also going to grab a cross strap to use as my tie and my safety here. So we're working over the top of the edge. So before we start hooking up our anchors, we're going to go ahead and tie into the railing. And there we have some simple edge protection. So, like I said, we have a commercial anchor strap that we'll use as 1.1 anchor. And we will double this one up. Good. Right there. and connect them. We have a single anchor point for us to use there. We'll use our webbing. Remember, our webbing is not going to be as strong as our commercial anchor strap here, but it'll be just enough, plenty for what we are going to use it for. Reach up here. One. Make sure we have it right where we want. We're going to be looking at where we are wrapped around what we're using as our anchor to ensure that there's no going to be any sharp hazards that we need to worry about that might cut our anchor straps. Alright, and we'll add our carabiner in there. Now, like we talked about with our redundancy, we want to have our main line and our belay. We have one 200-foot rope, section of rope here. I'm going to show you real quick how we can use this single section of rope and create two static lines to be able to safely rappel and belay from where we are. First, we're going to tie the regular figure 8 on the end. Send that down to the bottom. Okay. And here, as you recall, the butterfly knot, so we'll tie a butterfly. We're going to hold it over, make our 3 loops in our hand, move the one furthest forward all the way to the back, and the next furthest forward all the way to the back, and then through the middle. Make it tight, and there we have our butterfly knot that we can add into our anchor here. And we're going to give a little bit of slack in here because we want some rope that has no tension on it between our 2 anchor points. And that'll be what will give us our second static line. And there's our second butterfly knot. Now we can lower the rope bag down, get some out. Just tie a quick figure 8 on the bite here. Grab. An additional carabiner and connect that to our rope bag, and we can lower this the rest of the way down without dropping and putting a shock load on our rope. And there, we have our 2 static lines, our main and our belay. Like I said, we have our belay device here. And our rappel through our rappel device here as we close out. So like I said, here's the pencil ID. This symbol here is to go to our anchor strap, and this goes to our working end that comes out, that goes down to the ground. To load it, we're gonna put the anchor side in first and wrap around. May need to open up the handle to turn the cam so we can allow the rope in through the top. And then we close. And we are secured in. Now from a safe area we can test to make sure that we have the proper way and make sure that nothing is gonna fail on us. And now we'll be ready to rappel.